There's only one way I wanted to start today's show. It was with the now former UFC flyweight champion. It still feels weird to say that, but most importantly, it's with the birthday boy. How great is Demetrious Johnson? He told his wife, he told his family, the only way I want to spend my 32nd birthday is on Ariel Helwani's new ESPN show. That is the truth. That is what I've been told. Is that accurate, Demetrious Johnson?
You bet your sweet ass.
Yes.
How you doing today, my friend?
Yes, DJ, my man. Happy birthday. It's your birthday today, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
Happy birthday. 32 years young. You don't look a day older than 21. It's unbelievable.
It's great skincare. Everybody thinks I'm sweating when I'm online. They're like, Jesus, are you sweating? I'm like, no, I just have perfect skincare. So, good diet, good skincare, and you age gracefully.
Are we doing anything fun today? Did we do anything over the weekend? What are the plans?
We had a birthday party yesterday. We had close friends come over. We just barbecued and hung out. The kids played. And then today we got a pre-op for the wifey. And then we're going to the dump, throw some stuff away, and then we'll come back home and play World of Warcraft. Battle for Azeroth comes out today. So I'm the game today, my friend.
How is your wife feeling?
She's feeling fantastic. She went to the gym like 5:45 this morning, working out, making me look bad. So she's still doing good. She's still doing her.
Okay. Well, we wish her the best. I know the last couple of weeks are the hardest. She's looking great. She's apparently feeling great. So hang in there, Destiny. We're all pulling for you, and I know it's going to be a very exciting time for the family. So, DJ, a lot of people have wanted to hear from you, and I have to say, from afar, I've been so impressed. We are used to in this sport, someone loses a belt, someone loses a big fight, they kind of disappear for a little bit. That's typically the norm. You picked up, 4 hours later, you're doing Instagram stories, you're joking about your foot. It's been amazing to see how you dealt with your first loss in all these years, and your first loss as a flyweight. Could I just ask right off the bat, first loss in all these years, first loss as a flyweight, 9 days later, has it sunk in? Are you okay with all of this, or is there a fire burning inside?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I passed it, When I was training, I can't remember how long ago it was. It was a long time ago. And a guy who was training with, he goes, "You know what I love about you, DJ?" I was like, "What's up, dog?" He goes, "You're never bothered by the outcome. You don't let the outcome of your fight dictate what you do in life." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Dude, you defended your title 3 times. You're still in here training with a smile on your face. You're still having fun. You're still mopping the mat. And you come in here like you're a student." I was like, "That's because I still am a student." So, and even after 11 consecutive title defenses, every single time I won them, I've always showed my opponents respect and reward. When I beat him, I said, congrats on being a dad. It's the best team. When I beat John Dotson, I actually found his phone before we fought at the weigh-ins, and I gave it to him, and I said, congrats on being the father. So for me, there's no bad blood whatsoever, and I'm going to keep it going, man. I tell everybody when I'm streaming, when I win my fights, I come on the stream, I'm very graceful, and I thank everybody for praising, and I tell them, when I lose, I'm going to be back on the stream, continue to stream, and, You can't go 6 years with beating everybody up, and then when you get your first fight, you can't, pout about it and throw a fit. So for me, I'm okay with it, man, and just keep moving forward. And now it's about just getting healthy and see what's next.
Okay, how is your foot and how is your knee?
Boom. Okay, so foot, there's no broken bones, but there's still a little swelling. So if I touch the top of my foot, there's still just a little pain. I think that's the blood reside on the foot. And the knee, so I got MRI results. I have a high-grade partial tear in my LCL, and I have a high-grade partial tear in my popliteus. And then right now, I've been suffering some pain in my lower calf area, where you have the calf, you have a piece of meat, and then you have your Achilles tendon. So in that area right there, I've been having excruciating pain. I can't even sleep at night. I'm waking up just sweating in bed. So the UFC PI physical therapist thinks I might have a possible tear in my Achilles into my calf.
Oh.
That's not for certain. So I'm trying to get in to see ortho to see how high the grade is of the tears, my popliteus and my LCL. And then hopefully we can see what's going on in my calf too. So, that's part of the game.
Wow. Okay. So do you know if you might, you maybe need surgery, or even if that is what it is, you won't need surgery?
I don't think I should, but it all depends on the severity of the tear, right? Because when I read the MRI, it just says high-grade partial tear in LCL, and I'm like, okay, is that a grade 1, grade 2, grade 3? typically grade 3, you need, surgery. Grade 2 is, 6 weeks off, rehab and all that stuff. It feels like a grade 2 because I've had a tear in my left LCL before, and so like right in the fight when it happened, I felt the pop go, and the first thing in my mind goes, oh, that's fantastic. There goes the right LCL, and then so I know like when Kayla Price, which is my medical staff at the UFC, she was like, you know your body too damn well. I was like, why? She goes, yeah, you have a tear in your LCL and your popliteus, and I was like, yeah, I figured it was. So.
Wow. And both these injuries happened in the fight?
Yeah, it happened in the fight. I remember, like, I think it was either second or third round. I remember it was in like a scramble. I was probably defending a takedown. And I remember I rolled over my knee and I felt a pop. And I was like, shit. There was a right LCL. And then, there's nothing you can do. You can't say timeout. You can't say timeout. Hey,
right.
Hey, 1 second now. This hurts now. So you're gonna have to back off and, neglect that. But, I'm in there fighting for money, so I'm like, all right, it's a party. Let's make everything hurt. And I just kept fighting.
As I've been watching you post-fight, your demeanor, the way you're handling things, and again, very admirable. I'm sort of reminded of Anderson Silva in a weird way, because I remember Anderson Silva saying after the Chris Weidman fight, after he lost the belt, that the weight of the belt, was so overbearing that it's kind of nice not to be champion for a little bit. Is any of that coming into play here? Is it just kind of nice not being champion and not having to deal with that streak anymore?
Well, it wasn't. I think, from Anderson Silva's thing, I think it might have come from, people criticizing his fighting style or how he carried himself as a champ. And I never let that bother me. Like, people are like, oh, he doesn't sell and you're boring, you're ruining the flyweight division. But it's probably when I was like, get over it, then have somebody beat it, and they can, take torch and try to take it to, Valhalla or the Glory Days or whatever you guys are, think you're missing. And there's a part of me, it's like, I'm okay with it. I think for the wife, I think she's like, there's like a relief. I feel relief that you're not champion anymore. You sit here, relax and chill, and see how it does. So for me, I never felt like a responsibility as a champion to do it. Like my job was to go out there and fight and display, great mixed martial arts.
Is it weird having people, because I'm assuming this happens, like almost offer condolences? It's almost like you died, right? That's how I feel like it is people say, I'm so sorry. And you clearly aren't down about it, but I feel like people are down around you and feel like they have to be down towards you. Do you get that a lot, and is that awkward?
Yeah, but my friends and family, they're all good. Like, when I came back home and my wife was very worried about how I would be mentally, and I told her, she was like, "Are you okay? How are you doing?" I was like, "Babe, I'm fine." And I was like, it's not like I went out there and got blown out the water. You know what I mean? Like, I've been rocked. Like when I got hit by John Dodson, I'm like, oh my God, like you are concussing me, my friend. Like you are a monster. You hit hard, and when I fight Dom, he's there suplexing me left and right. So I've come out of fights where I'm like mentally demoralized, where I'm like, damn, dude, like mostly when it was Dom, when he was just throwing around, he was just so big. But with this one, I was like, I guess it is what it is, And so with this one, I'm fine. People are like, I'm so mad at you. I see a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram like, man, you got robbed, man. Like, you should be champion. So I was like, guys, don't waste your energy. Like, I truly appreciate, all the love and support, but, it is what it is. And I see other people out there, when they're like, I won that fight. I'm like, don't waste your energy, dude. Like, what you think, it might matter to you or to the public, but for me, it's like, hey, the judges, scored it, and it wasn't like he got me down. It wasn't like he postured up past my guard and started doing submissions, and it was just more he would just hold me down, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to get up, and I couldn't, and that's what it was. It wasn't like he outstruck me or anything like that. When people are like, dude, you killed him on the feet, and then I was like, really? Did I? And then when I see the numbers, I was like, oh, good. I guess so. That's awesome.
Have you watched the fight in its entirety yet?
I have.
Do you think you won the fight?
I should have done more. I should have done more. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say what the judges are looking for, right? Like, if I look at it as a standpoint as somebody who is, landing shots, if the roles were reversed and if I would have taken him down, I knew I would have passed guard. I knew I would have got, my signature game going on. I knew I would have mounted. typically when I take people down, I never sit in guard. I never sit in half guard. I'm always posturing. I'm always looking to pass. I'm always looking to start, my submission game. He didn't necessarily do that. He wanted to hold me down because it's hard to get a hold of me. So, a guy at the gym, I was at the gym on Saturday. He goes, "You know what pisses me off about that fight, DJ?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Somebody can become a fucking world champion by just holding you down. Literally just holding you down." I was like, "Nah, it's my fault. I should have got up. I should have, elevated him. I should have went to his legs and looked for a heel hook. I should have popped my hips and, went to a knee bar. I should have done more." So for me, I look at it as like I should have done more. I should have let my hands go a little bit more instead of like, "Oh man, I won that fight. I should have did more."
Okay, but when you're watching it, are you actually scoring the rounds? Like, can you say confidently you won 3 out of those 2 rounds? Or excuse me, 5, 3 to 2, 3 to the 5?
It's I feel like the toss-up one is probably like I only watched the fight once, and I haven't really sat down to sit there and score it like a judge. But I think the hardest one would probably be the second round because I felt like, that when he got me down and he like held me in that half guard and held me there. Then I kind of finished the round he finished round on top. And then there was an article by USA Today when it was like the unified rules. That's the new one that they come out with, and they're like, if somebody gets taken down and they cannot implement any damage whatsoever, then the judges would not score or the takedown as much. I guess. And I remember before we went out there to fight, our referee, he says, "All right, why don't you know you're fighting under the unified ABC rules, whatever the hell it is." And I'm like, "So does that mean I can knee him in the head when his hands are down, or what's going on?" I'm not getting. He goes, "No, it's ABC." He kept on repeating that to me, but I had no idea what the hell he meant. So, but if I was to say, I just didn't know what he meant. I was like, "Can I knee him on the head and the ground or not?" You're not. I don't understand. But then after the fight, one of my coaches goes, "No, the rules he was talking about was how they score the takedowns and whatnot."
Yeah. That's crazy that you're in a title fight and you've defended the belt 11 times, and even you are confused about this, as are we. But I think that, I like to call them the divided rules of MMA. I think that speaks to that point. Okay, so fair enough. You did not get on the mic afterwards and say, obviously title shot again, rematch. Obviously I've earned this, winning as champion of all time. You didn't do that even backstage. You haven't done that on social media, which is kind of the norm. Why not?
Because I'm focused on getting healthy. I'm not, at the end of the day, I have some injuries I need to take care of. And obviously, I want to get that one back. But I'm not going to stop another person from making money when he's a champion. He wants to go out and defend the belt. Like if Henry's like, "Hey, I want to fight at, December, the end of the year card. I'm healthy enough. Give me a challenger." Go ahead. Go do it, Henry. Go do your thing. If he's going to be a champion for a long time, we will. Our roads will cross again. But my main focus right now is getting healthy. Back in the day, even when I wouldn't fight, I'm like, "I'm ready to fight again. I'm ready to get back into it." I signed a contract. Next thing you know, I'm like, "Oh shit, I need surgery because my body's not completely healed." So I'm in a different state of mind now where it's about getting healthy, take care of my body, make sure I get through training camp. Then once that comes, I sit down with my team, my management, and then we look at what we're going to do next. And I want to make sure I'm making the right decision, for me and my family. So I'm not a person who's going to get on, Twitter and just yap my gums. I'm like, "Oh, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah." I rather spend my energy doing other things, which is focus on getting healthy, trying to figure out what's wrong with my knee, my calf, all that stuff. Everybody else can do their thing and try to figure out what he wants to do next. That's his career. He's a champ now. He can do what he wants. Congrats to him and his team. I'm focused on Demetrious Johnson.
Do you want to fight again this year? If all goes well, is that your goal?
I would like to, but the way the injuries are looking, man, I don't think it's going to happen. I have my baby girl is going to be born here any day now. I still got to figure out, my knee situation. So if it's a grade 2 tear to LCL, that's going to take 6 weeks. Okay, then after that 6 weeks, I got to strengthen my leg again. I can't just jump right into immediate training camp. So I'll strengthen the leg again. I have TwitchCon, I have BlizzCon coming up. I have other stuff going on outside of mixed martial arts. So the likelihood, if I can, pinpoint a date when I'm going to fight again, it's probably me in 2019. But as, we'll see. It's all pretty good in the body now. I'm at 24 where I go out there and take all this damage, and next thing you know, I heal up within, 4 to 6 weeks. When I fight now, my body's getting tore up.
Okay, you watch him, do these interviews, photos, all that stuff and more. He's holding your belt. Does that not feel weird a little bit?
No, I got 3 belts downstairs in the closet.
Wait, what? What was that?
I said, no, dog. I got 3 belts downstairs in the closet.
I know, but that's you. You were the guy. You were the only guy, and now there's someone else
Yeah.
parading.
No, I understand. No, it's called reality, man. Like, I knew, like, my day was going to come. That's just the pure reality of the sport of mixed martial arts. Every great champion lost. I mean, GSP lost to Matt Serra. Henry Cejudo lost to Chris Weidman. Philip Emelianenko's lost. I can just go down the list of the best champions in mixed martial arts who should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, have lost. And so for me, I look at every single person that's lost as a champion, like Ronda, Conor, Ben Henderson, Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo, Renan Barao, TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz. I can go off the list. I've been there where they've all lost. Every single one of them have lost, and I'm still being the champion. And I sit there and I take something from those guys, and I see like how them losing affects them. And I look and I'm like, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to let this belt dictate what I do in life and who I am in life, right? This is basically a token of me being the best martial artist, but it's not who Demetrious Johnson is. It doesn't display what my skill set and what my passion is for mixed martial arts. Like, that was just something that came down the road. I talk about all the time, like, man, what should I do if I want to do UFC and I want to be mixed martial arts? Like, one, that's the wrong way to look at it, my personal opinion, because when I started doing mixed martial arts, it was never to be a world champion. It was never to be in the UFC. The shit didn't even exist. The lowest weight class I had was 155. Then they got rid of it. Then it went to 170. So for me, I look at it as that I'm passionate about learning mixed martial arts, and this is where my path is taking me. Just because I lost the belt doesn't mean, my path is going to stop. I'm going to continue my journey to keep getting better, and that's it. So I don't let that, see another dude. I mean, sure, I only know Henry could, defend his belt 2 times, and I come back and beat him, or I can, go in there and fight him for his 3rd time, and I can lose again. And next, he fights Joseph, and Joseph beats him. Then I come back and beat Joseph, and I get the belt. Then there's just so much that can happen. So for me to sit here and, mope and groan and see, another man with my belt, not if it was my wife, I'm gonna get the, the Glock and take care of some things. But that's not the case.
And you are going to keep fighting, right? I mean, this hasn't changed or affected your passion.
No, absolutely not. My passion is learning and keep on fighting. I got to get healthy. Right. Like I said, that's the biggest thing. Like, from this fight, the only thing that I'm very upset about is the injuries. Like, I hate getting injured. It's one of the things that, you can't fight forever. And I tell a lot of the young guys too, me, Sugar, O'Malley, we hung out at the E3, and I tell them, like, dude, keep on winning, save your money, because you never know when your fight is going to go out on you. You just never know. So for me, it's the injuries from this fight that irritated me the most than the fight itself.
One of the first things he said after he won the fight was, I'm going to do what DJ didn't do. I'm going to go up to 135. TJ's team is saying, we're going to go down to 125. What do you make of all this? Now you're not involved anymore. You're on the outside looking in. What do you make of this talk? I
think it's good for them. If that's what they want to do, let them do it, I think if I read somewhere TJ said he woke up, he was weight cutting, he hit 133. So if he wants to do it, go have him do it, I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it at all. Let them do what they want to do, dog. That's them.
Is there any part of you, DJ, that feels like maybe you won't get a fair shake now that you're not the champion anymore? Because let's be honest, you haven't seen eye to eye with UFC brass over the last year or so. That now they maybe we don't have to deal with DJ anymore. Let's go give the next big fight to this guy or that guy. Is there any part of you that's worried about that?
I'm not worried about it because I know I'm going to be successful wherever I'm at. Whether it's me not getting a fair shake, if it's me, at the end of the day, that's going to be something my management is going to have to deal with because I don't, talk to the UFC brass because I can't hold back my emotions and I just keep it real. So I let those guys, Malky, Abe, those guys have been fantastic first round management with handling with the UFC. And then, like I said, once I get healthy, we'll sit down with those guys and we'll see what we're going to do and then go from there.
The big talk going into that fight, as you know, was Henry Cejudo has improved exponentially. And you said, what do you think I was doing the last 2.5 years? I've been improving as well. Now that you fought him, can you say that he is a much better fighter than the one you fought at 197?
It's hard to say because it's more of the patience. Like, when I notice the most about this fight and when I sit back and watch it, and even in the fight, he was just patient. Like, that's, like, it wasn't like he came out with, an amazing clinch game and he was throwing high kicks and he was taking me. I mean, he was taking me down, but it wasn't like he postured up and passed guard. Like, for example, like my teammate who just fought on Saturday. I trained with him. I've seen him grow, and like he's going out there. This guy trained in the Wushu temple, never wrestled in a day in his life, and this guy's lighting this dude up. And it was the champion coming down to fight him. It was a 155-pound champion coming down to 145 to fight him, and he just lit this dude up. And then I was like, "Holy shit, dude! You're improving. Like you're doing submissions off your back, just the overall game." So when I see people who improve, it's not the proving of a fight; it's a proving of the skill set of that athlete. If you know what I mean. So I would say his patience, and he's kind of got a way about how he goes about fighting now. Because if I were to say he improved, then when he took Sergio Pettis down, he would have sucked him back. He would have went for an armbar. He would have, tried to Kimura him and stuff, but he just rode him on the back. So, but his patience has gotten a lot better. Like he's understanding how to be patient, and that's why when I was fighting him, I was just leg kicking the shit out of him because he was waiting for me to cross distance. He was waiting for me to cross distance to counter me. And so when somebody's doing that in a fight, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick your fucking leg." So I'll kick his leg, and then he would spin around. I'll kick it again, spin around. Granted, those leg kicks didn't amount more in the judge's eyes instead of his takedown. So that's like, for me, as a judge, I will sit there and look back like, okay, so what's going on here? And then I'll look, okay, Henry Cejudo is not crossing distance. He's crossing distance at this moment, and he's kicking his leg, okay? Or he kicks his leg, now he's trying to take him down. So for me, that's why I don't talk about fighting or I don't talk about how I score fights, because that's what goes to my mind, because I've been spending so much time with Matt Hume when he judges Pride and Dream fights. He goes, you don't score a fight by rounds. You score a fight as a whole, because one guy can just, get beat up for 3.5 minutes, and next thing you know, I think somebody for 3.5 minutes, and then he gets a takedown and holds him for the minute and a half, and he wins the round. And it's like, well, he didn't do anything. To where my coach said, out of the whole entirety of the fight, I think I was on my back for maybe 2 to 3 minutes of 22 minutes. And so you score the fight like that, it's like, well, there's not too much. So. That's when people are like, "Man, who did someone fight?" I'm not even gonna fucking get into it, because that's where my brain goes. I start going into technical mode and be like, "Hey," everyone's like, "Who you got? Conor or Habib?" Well, let's think. Well, if Habib gets Conor down, passes guard, or starts a submission game, and mounts him, and then Conor might turtle, and Conor turtles. He's been there before. Nate Diaz chokes him out, so that's a possibility. Or that's where my mind starts to go, and that's why I don't like talk about fighting with people, because I don't want to take them on that journey.
Do I have time for 2 more questions?
Of course you do.
Okay. I know you have to get to an appointment, so I just wanted to ask beforehand. Do you regret I'll be fast. Do you regret not capitalizing in the first round when it seemed like he was having a hard time standing because of those kicks, and it seemed like his ankle was giving out? Do you regret in hindsight not capitalizing, putting more pressure on him because it seemed like he was having so much trouble?
When I look at it, I look at it as like when I was in the fight. I'm looking at it, I want to stalk him and make sure I pick my right shot. Pick the right shot I wanted to land. I didn't want to go in there guns blazing like that guy who got knocked out. He hurt the dude to the body. Scott Smith and Pete Hill.
Scott Smith, Pete Hill.
Yeah, he hit him in the body, and next thing you know, he got knocked out. So when I saw that, I saw an injured animal, and I was looking for the right kill shot to put him away. So I'm not the type of guy I wish he could have would have done this. I knew that that happened in the first round, and I didn't capitalize on it, and it is what it is, as Max Holler would say.
What advice, if any, would you give to Henry Cejudo now that he is the champion of the flyweight division? You were the face of that division forever. You know what it's like to be a champion. You went from, relatively unknown to considered one of the greatest fighters ever. That crown is a very heavy one. What advice, if any, would you give him?
Have fun, enjoy it. Just do you. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about what people think about your style. Just do you. I mean, that's the best advice I can give somebody, Not just, flyweight, but any other champions that are going to be down the road, and, not just now, but in the future.
What a mensch you are, DJ. Honestly, I know you're about to get to an appointment with your wife. It's your birthday. You just lost 9 days ago, and so gracious. I wish we can clone you, and you continue to be the ultimate professional. Such a class act. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to cover your career through the ups and the downs now. So thank you so much for being you and for acting the way you do. And thanks for coming on today. And good luck with the injuries. And for now, most importantly, good luck to your wife with what's to come. A very exciting time for your family later this month.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. My career's not over yet. You're going to do a lot more covering. And I better have my Disney stock the next time we talk.
That's right.
Have a good day.
I'm working on that.
There
he is, Demetrious Johnson.